The sky split open. A light fell into the heart of the night. In that moment, history changed course. Was he the man who said he spoke with the sky, or was he a sorcerer who commanded energy? Why were his notebooks hidden for years? Did he truly receive a signal from another world, or was humanity simply not ready to understand him? His name is Nikola Tesla. This is the story where light is born and darkness falls silent. The sky raged over a small village in today's Croatia. Lightning struck as a child was born. The village trembled. In that instant, darkness and light seemed to merge. Perhaps for the first time in history, an idea and a lightning bolt were born together. When the midwife said, "He will belong to darkness," his mother smiled. "No, he will belong to light." Dukamandik Tesla, illiterate yet ingenious, was known for crafting her own tools. She repaired what was broken and reinvented what was ordinary. Watching her, young Nicola learned that metal and wood could turn into thought. His father Milutin, an Orthodox priest, wanted him to follow fate. But Nicola searched for God not in books, but in the pulse of nature, in the flight of a bird, the flow of a river, the turning of a gear. Curiosity born in a small village grew into a storm within a young man. In the stone corridors of Karlovac High School, silence gave way to thought. He finished the 4-year program in 3. Some called him gifted, others thought he cheated. He simply saw the result first in his mind. Life had another trial waiting. Returning home, he caught cholera and spent 9 months between life and death. His father Milutin prayed for his son, and a father's prayer became the destiny of an inventor. In 1875, Tesla entered the Austrian Polytechnic in Graz on scholarship. He excelled, earning the highest marks in every subject. Professors struggled to understand how his mind worked. At night, he stayed in the lab, experimenting among the shadows of machines. One day, Professor Pershel demonstrated an electrical motor. Small carbon brushes sparked with friction. Tesla watched closely. Electricity, he thought, should turn without touching metal. A click sounded in his mind. The idea of the brushless motor was born. But life grew heavy, debts mounted, and rumors tied his name to gambling. His father grew angry, yet Tesla's thoughts had already crossed into another world. Even at the gaming table, he saw not numbers, but waves of probability. He left Graz, driven by his passion for science. In solitude, he heard thought itself more clearly. Sometimes, in that silence, his heartbeat echoed like the rhythm of a new invention. Perhaps the first revolution was not the brushless motor but the human mind. The year was 1882, in Budapest. Morning fog still hung over the city as Tesla walked in silence. He was alone now, sleepless, restless, yet his mind never stopped. With each step he felt a hum beneath the stones. Even the city seemed to have a heartbeat. When the streets fell silent, he still heard sounds, not human, not machine. It was as if the universe itself was whispering. Not the tick of a clock, but the heartbeat of a star. The ticking of time, the rumble of trains, and his own pulse merged into one rhythm. He wrote in his journal, "I can hear a clock 2 rooms away, and a train from miles off shakes me. A melody, the notes of an invisible orchestra." Perhaps God spoke through vibration. When he closed his eyes, the sound spread like waves. He thought, the world vibrates like endless music. This sensitivity caused him pain, yet opened the door to the essence of vibration. Every ache became a signal, every echo an idea. He wrote, "Everything vibrates. The secret of the universe lies in vibration." One night, as he recited lines from Goethe's Faust, he stopped. A street lamp flickered in time with his heartbeat. "There it is," he whispered, "a rotating magnetic field." Invisible gears turned in his mind, forming the image of the alternating current motor that would one day power the world. He told no one. The time had not yet come. A year later, he worked at the Continental Edison company in France, repairing by day, dreaming by night. In Strasbourg, he secretly built his first motor. The metal was silent then, it turned. "No brushes, no sparks," he called out. But no one cared, no one understood. A world-changing idea had been born, unnoticed. Months later, a current surged through his hand. For a moment, all went silent. Time, breath, and pulse vanished. Then came white light. I was inside it, he wrote. There was no fear, only energy. From that day, electricity felt alive, a breathing force. In 1884, a letter arrived. You are going to New York. Edison is waiting. With a few drawings, a few dollars, and one letter. I know two great men, it read. One is you, the other is this young man. As the sun set, the ocean turned red. Wind flipped the pages of his notebook. A few fell into the sea. Tesla gazed toward the horizon. Beyond the Atlantic, a new world awaited and a new age. Lightning flashed across the sky. He smiled. Where light goes, I will go, he whispered. As the ship neared New York, chimneys breathed smoke into the mist. Tesla felt the pulse of this new world, loud, impatient, alive. He had 4 cents, a few sketches, and a dream heavy as the world itself. A battle was beginning, not just for electricity, but for the soul of humanity. The city was loud and harsh. Amid the clamor, Tesla listened to his own silence. His heartbeat no longer matched its rhythm. America was searching for the future of electricity, and its heartbeat in a building in New Jersey, Edison Machine Works. Cables, bulbs, and workbenches filled the lab. The air smelled of hot metal and ozone. At the end of a long corridor, Tesla stopped before an iron door. Inside came the clatter of machines, the sound of destiny. He pushed it open. Light struck his face. There stood the man he had long heard of. 2 minds, 2 eras, 2 beliefs met. Sparks flew instantly. From that moment, 2 worlds collided. Edison's world was practical wires, plugs, lamps. Tesla saw the unseen, a language of intuition before reason. Tesla repaired generators, solved losses, and revived the lab. Edison once joked, "If you succeed, I'll pay you $50,000. Tesla succeeded, and Edison laughed. You Europeans don't understand a joke. That laugh burned the bridge between them. That night, Tesla left the lab. Rain had begun. Under flickering street lamps, he whispered, "One day I will free electricity from its chains." He didn't return. For months he was unemployed, digging trenches and laying cables, hungry and cold. But in his mind, the image kept turning, the rotating magnetic field. By 1887, in a leaky old workshop, he built his own universe. Electricity no longer flowed like a river, it pulsed like a heartbeat. It was one of humanity's greatest revolutions. Edison called it dangerous. Newspapers took sides. His men held public demonstrations while Tesla stood calmly in his lab. Before a crowd, he raised the bulb. No wires, no sparks, and it lit in his hand. "Electricity does not harm me," he said. "I am in tune with its frequency." The audience froze, then erupted in applause. Science had become a miracle. Belief itself seemed to shift. For the first time, people looked at electricity as something sacred. The war had begun. Edison's wires chained the cities. Tesla's current broke those chains and rose toward the sky. He now believed electricity was not a human invention, but the language of the universe. It was more than a duel between 2 inventors, it was a struggle for humanity's connection to energy. History named it the War of Currents. A new idea was already shining in Tesla's mind. To carry power not just through the earth, but through the air. Years later, while listening to a strange signal on his antenna, he would write, "This may be coming from another world." If you are still here, the story of Tesla has likely moved you, as well as the flow of electricity. Every like becomes a part of this story. Every comment is a spark. We grow with everyone who believes in science, curiosity, and light. Subscribe because this journey can only be completed with your frequency. The year was 1899. On the dry plains of Colorado, a tower gleamed above a small cabin. The sky darkened. Lightning danced on the horizon. Tesla looked at the tower and smiled. "Here," he said, "I will connect the heart of the world to the sky." The boy who once watched lightning was now its master. This was the first wireless power laboratory in history. He measured the breath of nature and counted the rhythm of storms. Each night he sent signals to the sky and listened for their echo. Electricity, he now knew, was not just power, it was the heartbeat of the universe. In that cabin at Colorado Springs, he built a giant coil that shook the heavens. With every flash, windows rattled and the city trembled. Some claimed to see blue lights in the sky. Others swore they heard the voice of God or Tesla's ghost. Tesla only smiled. "Lightning is speaking," he would say. A year later, back in New York, a new man awaited him. The city no longer belonged to Edison but to Morgan. Money spoke louder now. Profit ruled over ideas. With his last coins, Tesla held a plan in his hands. If power can be sent wirelessly, the whole world can have free energy. Morgan listened, then asked coldly, "If we cannot sell the energy, why invest?" Tesla did not answer. He had not been born to sell energy, but to share it. Still, Morgan agreed. In 1901, on Long Island, a great tower began to rise, Wardenclyffe Tower. Tesla called it the castle in the sky, 57 meters tall, topped with a shining copper dome. Not just an antenna, but Tesla's dream made visible. "One day," he said, "this tower will connect the entire world." It will be dreams, not cables, carrying electricity. At night he walked the lab alone. He touched the copper plate and listened to the hum of the atmosphere. Not the voice of humanity, but the echo of the universe. Edison was gone, Morgan was harsher. The press mocked him as a mad scientist. Funds vanished. Workers left. The cables were cut. One morning, the tower stood silent. Tesla heard only the wind. He wrote in his journal, "They cut the wires, but my ideas still live in the air." And perhaps they did, because ideas, like lightning, belong not to the ground, but to the sky. Tesla never returned to Wardenclyffe. Years later, the tower was torn down. The world no longer vibrated at Tesla's speed. Years passed. Light that was once born in his hands now glowed dimly in hotel rooms. He lived in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel, surrounded by notebooks and a trunk of letters most never sent. He wrote, "People did not understand me, but I can persuade time with time. Maybe not then, but one day humanity will listen." Each morning he walked to Central Park to feed the pigeons. One day he found a wounded bird, bandaged its wing, and took it to his room. "When she came to me, she was dying," he said later. "I healed her." Perhaps that bird was electricity itself, white, fragile, free. Some called it madness, others a symbol. To Tesla, it was the spirit of energy, untouchable and endless. The world had begun to forget his name. Edison was gone. Morgan, a memory. Yet Tesla kept designing ideas. He said one day voices, images, and sound would travel wirelessly and fit in every pocket. They called it madness, then today we call it the mobile phone. He dreamed of carrying power through high-frequency waves, today we call it Wi-Fi. He spoke of joining Earth and sky, today we call it satellite communication. Humanity rejected him, but his echo shaped the future. On the 7th of January 1943, the attendant knocked. No answer. They entered to find Tesla lying silently on his bed. The room was still. On the table, a metal sphere turned faintly, as if his last breath had left a frequency in the air. Days later, his belongings were gathered, notebooks, plans, and drawings. Some disappeared, others were sealed. Years later, scientists found a single line. "One day people will hear my waves. When that day comes, they will remember me." And perhaps on that day, we will all be the echo of Tesla. Today, in every vibration, every signal, his resonance remains. Tesla died, but his frequency lives on in the light, behind the sound, within time itself. He is still there, for those who listen. Tesla fell silent. His ideas still speak. Perhaps even now the energy of the screen you are watching carries his voice. If this story has moved you, then you have felt his frequency. Leave a like, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments. This channel grows with minds that follow the path of light. Every comment is a vibration for us. Every subscriber is a new circuit. But the story does not end here. In the next documentary, we will meet a mind that dared to bend time. His name is Albert Einstein. Prepare for a new journey where the mind dances with the universe. And as always, take good care of yourselves. Do not lose your light.